What's going on, everyone? I know it's been a while since I've posted anything. I've actually been just sitting back and observing what's been going on in the world. As I do in every episode, I just want to take the time to thank everyone who's given me a view, a like, a comment, a thumbs up. Really means a lot to me. This episode of this podcast is called Just Be Honest. And I think as a nation, that's exactly what we need to do. Take off the gloves, stop being PC, stop trying to, avoid hurting people's feelings and just be honest with one another. Especially you MAGA heads. Just admit that it wasn't about the lowering the price of eggs or the cost of living as the reason why you voted for him. Many of you are just diehard conservatives, and that's your prerogative. You can think or feel how you want to, but some of y'all just, you know, need to be honest and just say you're xenophobic, transphobic, homophobic, racist, basically, because everything that Trump is proposing is against diversity, against immigrants, um, basically against the Constitution. He's doing executive orders that he knows well within his right mind. If he has a right mind, that he doesn't have the power to do. He's firing people that he isn't able to fire. I mean, he's withholding funds, and that's the power of Congress to do. And he's circumventing the three branches of government, the checks and balances, and basically he's being a puppet for Elon Musk, who ironically is an immigrant from South Africa. Um, Last night in his speech, he talked about having non-elected bureaucrats kicked out of power so they don't run the country, but ironically, we have a non-elected bureaucrat or a billionaire in this case running the country basically. Um, he's going against anything quote unquote woke or anything with having to do with DEI. And this is just something I need to say to all you narrow-minded people. I'm trying to be as nice as possible. DEI doesn't mean just black. DEI helps disabled people. DEI helps veterans. And then, most importantly, the biggest population of people that DEI helps is white women. When women couldn't work or get a credit card or get a divorce or couldn't get birth control, things like that, especially in the workforce, it helped white women in particular. And then a lot of these women claim or, call the victim card, but at the same time, they're part of the problem as well because they're helping to oppress minorities. Many of them vote against their own self interest because they know they're quote unquote taken care of by a rich white man. So they don't think about the consequences or repercussions of their votes or their actions against other people, other women. But that's a story for a different time. Um, Woke is not weakness. Woke just means that you give a damn about someone other than yourself, which we need to start doing. Um, this administration is, it's been what, 43, 44 days. They're facing, I lost track of the number, maybe 75 or more lawsuits about some of the decisions that they made, some of the executive orders, firing people for no just cause. We all know the reason. Many of these organizations are investigating Elon Musk. Um, You're firing people from like the FAA, ideally to install Musk Starlink technology to help him out, because it seems like that's all this administration's about, is helping Elon Musk, helping him make more money than he even needs. He's technically the richest person, even though it's not in liquidity; it's all in stocks. Um, I mean, you're firing the Joint Chiefs of Staff chairman mostly because he's black. Um, you're firing and letting go people from the VA, veterans who are trying to make a living after they serve this country. I mean, that's just wrong. You fired people from USAID, and tried to basically freeze funding. This is the organization that's feeding the hungry and healing the sick. Kind of like what Jesus would do, but you guys wouldn't know anything about that, even though you claim to be Christians. But it's just hypocrisy. Um, you are siding with Russia, which I never thought I would see a sitting president do. Um, I mean, last Friday was just ridiculous. The meeting that happened between Trump and Zelensky. I'm not saying Zelensky did everything right, but he's just trying to look out for his people. And all J.D. Vance and Donald Trump did was basically attack him. And I think that was all set up. I think they were pretty much going to freeze aid no matter what, because all they want are the minerals that Ukraine has to offer, lithium, which helps batteries, which would help, again, Elon Musk, because that's all they seem to care about. I really think Donald Trump has sold his soul to Musk to help with his legal expenses, because I believe he still owes New York City, or the state of New York, I think it's like $500 million. And then his civil suit with E. Jean Carroll, I think he owes her about $83 million. Um, it's just a shit show, basically. I can't say anything else about it. He gets up there and does a speech in front of the Joint Congress and just pretty much shits on the Democrats, makes all these lies, disparages Biden, does a trade war against our allies, which I don't see who that benefits. I mean, ultimately, what I think he's trying to do is, I mean, I honestly don't know what he's trying to do, honestly. I think he's trying to cripple Canada so he can annex it, so he can steal their oil, their resources. He's trying to do the same thing to Mexico. I think he's almost threatening to invade Mexico, again, for the same reason. I get trying to do tariffs with China. But at the same time, the consumer is going to end up paying for that. So this promise of lowering prices for groceries and dealing with inflation was just bullshit to get elected, because you're not helping anyone but billionaires. You're cutting Medicaid, um, possibly Medicare, and then you're, without a doubt, going to go after Social Security. Because, Musk says it's a Ponzi scheme, which we all know it isn't. No one is collecting Social Security at 150, 200, 300 years old. That's just complete idiocracy and complete lies. But what else do you expect from Donald Trump? His speech last night was just ridiculous. If you take the time to fact check it, you would be doing it for days, because it was just filled with lies. He's so divisive. A leader is supposed to unite people. You're supposed to unite the parties, do what's best for the country, not divide us even more than we're already divided, and then spew lies and do things that only benefit yourself. You're going after immigrants, but only black and brown immigrants. There's more than like close to like 500,000 European immigrants that are here, probably illegally to some degree. I never hear you go after them. And then you're doing this like gold card to get people into the country off for $5 million. It's don't even get me started. It's ridiculous. It's some of the dumbest, hypocritical, racist, sexist, and to some degree, and transphobic stuff I've ever heard. They're trying to kick transgender people out of the military, even though they have a right to fight for our country. You're making a big deal about trans people in sports. What is 1% of 1% of the population, and you're focusing on that. But I don't hear any plans on how to lower the prices of eggs or food or create more housing or raise the minimum wage. Nothing in your rhetoric is about helping the common man. Everything you're doing is for tax breaks for the rich. And I think you people who are supporting him just need to be honest. Just say you're racist. Just say you're sexist. Just be honest. At least I could somewhat respect you a little bit more. But saying, oh, well, he's a good businessman, he's going to run it like a business. He's filed for bankruptcy 6 times, at least. Most of his business that he started have gone under. He had a fraudulent university. Even Elon Musk is not a good businessman. Tesla is plummeting as far as sales. Uh, Twitter has probably lost value by 75%. So these aren't good businessmen. So I don't know why you're so enamored. It's like you're fed into this cult. You're drinking the Kool-Aid, and he's made it popular to be hateful. You have people walking down the streets of Ohio and Massachusetts with this white nationalist propaganda and swastikas and flags and stuff like that. I mean, it's not cool. This country was founded by immigrants, built by immigrants. It was built on the graves of indigenous people, on the backs of black slaves, with the help of Asians and with the help of Hispanics. And we just need to realize that this is not a white Christian nationalist society. It's never been self sufficient. We've always relied on our allies. And now you're just dividing and destroying those ties that we had to our allies. So you guys just need to fess up, admit your wrongs, your hatred, your division. You know, it's time for a change. It's time to wake up and realize that what makes America great is diversity. What makes America great is the differences that each one of us has, the different cultures, the different religions, the different orientations. Stop putting your 2 cents in everyone else's business and just mind your own and learn to respect people. And the world would be a better place, especially our society. But that's just me being honest. I'll get off my soapbox now. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Catch you guys on the flip side.